So to turn our e-collar on, you're so tall.
I am.
How tall are you?
Like 5'11".
I am like, I don't know, I stand next to
You're
people
tall
and I'm the
too.
tall
No,
one,
I
and I'm
know.
like, I
I'm
have
absurdly
platform
tall.
bands on, and I'm like looking up at you. Red dot to red dot is to turn the receiver on.
Okay.
It's just a magnet, so it'll
Oh,
flash
cool.
green when it's on, ready to go. Working level today, the working level is just like the lowest level that he feels the sensation at.
Okay.
That scared me.
Sorry.
I've never met a golden retriever who will not take food. He's
So
literally
strange.
drooling. Come here. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start off at a low level. And the dial is very sensitive. So it goes from 0 to 100.
Okay.
So you have to like barely turn it. And I'm just gonna give some taps here. I don't feel it until like a 12, 13. Every dog is a little bit different. The first time, the number is typically a little bit higher, and then we'll dial back down once he's felt it for the first time. Because it's a very foreign sensation.
Feeling. Right.
The lady over there with all her dogs cracked me up. Okay, so that was a 13. I'm gonna dial down to a 12.
Okay.
I think that initial like reaction that we got from him was it. And it's very subtle. I don't want like a big reaction from him when we're in the process of conditioning it,
Yeah.
because he doesn't know what it is.
Right.
And then I'm gonna go here because I don't want to start off in grass typically because there's too many smells. So we want to either do it on like concrete when you're back at home, just like do it in your driveway.
Okay.
I'm gonna raise my hand whenever I'm pressing and holding the e-collar, but I'm just gonna pair it with my leash.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give him some slack in the leash. And if he took food, I would pair it with food, but he's not taking food from me, so that's okay. Come here. Hi, you're such a big baby. You're so stinking cute. So I'm gonna wait for him to get on in front of me a little bit. E-collar stem's gonna go on. Good. And then it goes off. Good job. Good. So e-collar goes on, give in to the leash, turns it off.
As soon as he stops pulling.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
So do you see when I'm lowering my hand, that's when it's gonna go off. I know. Good. Good job. And back at home, if there's less distractions, we're probably gonna be at like maybe an 11, 12.
Okay.
We're at a 13, 14 now. Good. Good job.
And will you pair this with a word like heel?
Not yet.
Okay.
Good. So right now, how he turns it off is he gives into the leash.
Okay.
And we can pair this with like a sit, we can pair it with a down, we can pair it with place. Like we can literally pair it with anything. But in the beginning, good. I like to make it easy for them of like, just give in to the leash. Like that's literally it. Good job. Because sometimes it's like, come on, good. Sometimes he'll just be listening to the cue, not actually paying attention to the stem of the e-collar.
Okay.
Very nice. Come on. Good. So that was a 14. I'm gonna go ahead and dial down to a 13. Good. Well, we'll do a 12. I don't think he feels a 12. We're gonna go back to a 13.
I'm assuming the bigger the dog, the higher they.
It really doesn't matter. I've
Really?
had like little dogs that are at high levels. My Malinois is at like a 4.
Interesting.
This is like a typical level for most dogs. Come on. So that was a 13. I'm gonna dial down to a 12 again, see if he feels it. But he also just doesn't know what it is.
Yeah.
So he's like, what the heck is this? Good job. And does he know a heel? Have you taught him a heel?
I haven't used it really with the word, but I mean, we've been practicing.
Like the position?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come on. Good job. Very nice. So we're at a 12 now. So the first time we do it, I kind of like play around with the levels a bit. Good job. So you see on that one, he's like getting it. Like e-collar stem went on before he put pressure on the leash, and then he was like, all right, coming back this way. Good. Good job, buddy. All right, go ahead and come over here. So I'm gonna have you do it. We're gonna stick around a 12.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have you do the same thing. Basically what I'm looking for is for him to kind of check out from you. So he's like getting distracted, goes out in front. That's when I want e-collar stem to go on, just dip back.
Okay.
And then as soon as he makes the decision to come back to you, e-collar stem goes off.
Okay.
And if you want to, you can dial to a 11 while we practice this. Just so you can practice like your timing and pressing the button.
And it's the hold on the S.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So dip back, stem goes on. Good.
And if he just follows me, then I don't need to
Side
put
button. This one. Yeah.
If he follows me, I wouldn't need to put it on.
Right now, I want stem to go on before he follows you.
Got it.
So be a little quicker with stem to go on
Okay.
because we're trying to teach him that like, hey, when stem goes on, default, I want to come back to me.
You look at me.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
okay.
that like when he is off leash, we can go stem goes on, he comes back to you,
Yes.
it goes off.
Okay. Okay.
And that'll eventually transition to our recall. You're with her. Good job.
Good boy.
He's like, you? I'm looking at you. Good.
Good boy.
Perfect. And does he know place?
Yes.
Okay, sweet. Go ahead and do like
Hopefully.
2 more reps of that.
We'll see if he knows
You
place
might
and
turn you into a liar. Yeah.
Good boy.
Perfect. Nice. You've been paying him in heel, I can
boy.
see. Very nice. All right, let me grab my place caught.
Do you want the legs for
I feel like this sense, his like urge to smell is like the hardest thing for me to fight against.
Yeah.
Like it's so strong
Yeah.
that I don't know if that's like the age that he's at, but like,
I think it's Golden's.
okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that's how Lucy is too. That's what kind of like made her such a runner is like she would just get a scent and
Yeah.
she's gone.
Yeah.
You know? Good.
Good.
Nice. Go ahead and reward him.
Good boy.
Perfect. He takes food from you. What the heck? All right, go ahead and release him. Do it again.
Free. Good boy. Wait, and no treat on the free, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. So go ahead and walk him back over to place.
Place.
Good.
Good.
He knows the things. Okay, perfect. Go ahead and reward him. So I'm gonna have you do the exact same thing, only now we're gonna pair place with our e-collar.
Okay.
So this is just gonna generalize the e-collar stem a little bit. So it's gonna go, e-collar stem goes on, place, guide him over to place. As soon as all 4 paws are on it, I don't necessarily need him in a down for these first couple reps.
Okay.
E-collar stem goes off.
Okay.
So now we're generalizing stem to listen to the command, follow through the command, stem goes off.
Got it.
Okay?
Okay. Free. Place.
Good. Stem goes off.
Good.
Perfect. Reward.
Good boy.
And are we still at 12? 12?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I'll have you stay there. Nice. All right, go ahead. Again, release him.
Free.
The collar
Please.
stem goes on. Use your body language. There you go. Good.
Good.
Good job. He is so slow.
You can tell like he's getting tired.
Yeah, that's a lot of work. Go ahead and dial up to a 13. I want to see what kind of response we get from him with a 13.
Okay. Free.
So, perfect. And I want stem to go on before you say the command.
Okay.
Almost at the same time.
Okay. Place.
Good.
Good.
Perfect. Good job.
Good boy.
All right, go ahead and pay him. So that last rep, I feel like he understood it a little bit more,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because basically I want the stem to go on before I give you guidance so that it grabs his attention. So that like when he's out sniffing and like everything else is more rewarding to him, stem goes on and he's like, oh, gotta listen.
Yeah.
Because when his nose is to the ground, like nose is everything.
Yeah.
You know, like there's a whole world that we don't pick up on that he is. So he's so like immersed in that the e-collar is gonna like physically tap him of like, hey, I'm trying to grab your attention.
Right. That's why I feel like it's hard that like if I say a command, I'm like, I don't even know if he's hearing me.
Right.
But this is a physical sensation of the command.
Yes, exactly. And so the first week that I'm gonna have you practice this is all you're gonna do with the e-collar. You're gonna play around with the levels. It's gonna change. This is a super sensitive e-collar, so the levels are like barely any difference between them. It's gonna depend on like his level of focus, what environment we're in, you know, like what smells are around us. Think inside voice versus outside voice. So if you're practicing this inside, he might be at like a 7, whereas outside he might be at like a 15. You know, this is a pretty high distraction, like high smelly area. So he's probably going to be lower at home.
And every time we're like practicing a place command, should it always be with the e-collar?
Yes.
Okay.
Because we're going to condition the e-collar this week.
Okay.
Yep.
Same thing with walking. Every walk we go on, even a potty break, should be with the e-collar on.
You don't have to always like practice using the e-collar, but have it on.
Okay.
Because I don't want him to learn that he only listens when he has the e-collar on. So
that.
I want it to just be like his outfit.
Okay.
With Goldens, you have to worry about hot spots. So rotate it halfway through the day.
Okay.
Take it off at night, put it on in the morning. Even if it's not charged, even if you're like not planning on really using it that day, still put it on.
Okay.
Just so it's like part of his daily routine.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have you practice e-collar on those walking drills, and then with place, you're gonna find his working level for this first week every time you do it. So you're gonna start off at a low level, dial up, wait until you see some sort of changing behavior. Okay, we're gonna start there.
Okay.
Eventually, you're gonna get the hang of knowing what level he needs to be at in what environment.
Okay.
Okay.